and gentlemen, Yamai and welcome. This play is brought to you by the National Nuclear Commission in collaboration with the College of the Marshall Islands Nuclear Club and Jo-Jikum. The play you are about to see is all based on true events that unfolded throughout our nuclear legacy. And this was from hours spent listening to interviews from actual survivors. Before we proceed, please silence your phones. Kumotada and enjoy the show. And may I please ask our Reverend Jalili Pineda to introduce the meeting. Come on.
In February of 1946, on a quiet Sunday afternoon, the United States military arrived on the shores of Bikini to ask the 167 residents if they would like to leave their home island for the U.S. to conduct a series of harmful tests for the sole good of mankind. The Bikinians weren't aware of the extent of damage these weapons would have caused and didn't understand that they wouldn't be able to return home for many, many years. This is where our story of survival and perseverance from the United States nuclear weapons testing program began. It was a year before the Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands was established by the United Nations, which appointed the United States responsible for the Marshall Islands and its people. For the next 12 years, the northern Bikini and Eniwetok atolls of the Marshall Islands were labeled as Pacific Proving Grounds, where the U.S. tested a total of 67 nuclear devices. During this time, the Marshallese inhabitants of the atolls that were affected were forced to relocate and to adapt to harsh living conditions in other islands several times as the U.S. conducted their tests. This is our story. This is our declassified file.
All right now, James. Will you tell the people of Bikini that the United Igual, kajian dua tadi aman di lokasi orang tadi, di bawah macam boleh aman, di ciri dia mau lah. Begini.
Jangan lagi dia, abang kurang tu kan?
Ako ang mga kalinigan na ilang kayo.
Namanya keliling di jalan Rita, dengan pertualan di Gajo, ya.
Orang ni nak meminjam dalam awal, kalau baik, kau juga boleh dia.
Pajoran mo kinaro ito lang. Kaya mo, nagsalam, binyonan ng kajapat ka pala.
Awal ni, Jo-Jikum yang berjabatan, Englishg alamin ilawan sini.
Okay, James. Now that they have heard our plan, will you please ask King Judah to come up here and speak for his people?
Kunjula, kajian hari yang ada hiwaya orang kerana dia.
Kau apa ni jalan? Ini ubiami orang baik jadi hilang pun.
Okay. Hold on, folks. We need to film this in order to prove that you guys gave us your concert, okay? So, 3, 2, 1, action!
Apa ni jalan? Ini ubiami orang baik jadi hilang pun. Emman, ini orang ni beri lebih ni.
Aman, easy, everything is got it.
Well then, that's fine. With everything being in God's hands, it must be good.
Ako ay binyonan ka pa rin na nakamayan.
Jadi lang, kaya mo magagawa naman ang bumakan na ako.
Ako ay kapapanarin ko na rin sa YouTube ko na yun.
Iya, anak-anak mau ada ini. Kayak di bangku kulit ini. Jadi kan, ecapin kan, apa mana, orang ini cuci pun beri, kerana ini boleh. Bertarik orang cakap tu, aku tu mana ini rolian orang. Lepas cuci mana, miun cuci pun, kenapa mana? Ikan cilik kan, bentuk yang orang ini begini. Dia kalau ke mana dengan, mata.
On the eve of March 1st, the U.S. weathermen stationed on Roanoke had reported unfavorable wind conditions and had warned that the radioactive fallout would be blown towards the nearby inhabited atolls. Despite this warning, the U.S. carried on with their plan, and on March 1st, 1954, the United States government detonated the strongest hydrogen bomb that they had invented on our beloved Bikini Atoll. It was a quiet morning at 6:45 a.m. when the explosion erupted and sent a blinding red flash of light across the skies for all to see throughout the marshes. Many recount that morning as the world was about to end. And there have been stories from all throughout both Radek and Dadak chains of witnessing the light and the calm waters riddled with ripples throughout the whole day.
beberapa penonton main yang itu nomor yang soal penonton itu ini.
Yang mana mau yang pertamanya?
Mama dia mau dibawa cuma.
Udah, yang baru nonton, ya udah ya. Ikut kamu kurizinnya, yuk cepet.
Ini kalau ibu jadi halangan.
Later on that day, the skies illuminated colorful beams throughout the Marshall Islands. The people had never seen anything like it before.
Yan na kaya.
Ini. Dewi kan yang naik yang di belakang. Ambil. Lalu orang dalam bok. Bok kamu naik. Ini kan ini.
Pwede na naik. Pwede na jora yung wala. Jora na lang na pagawa ka na na kaya mo. Na.
Ube. Jadi kan ni. Lewat kita kamu kalau tu tu baik. Awal I will know. I will know. I will punya. Tuan jen pan. Tuan ke mana?
Kumalat. Saya lupa cuma saya kalau pada order apa di order ini. Agar dia kan kyo ini deh.
Ini dia yang mengawe. Dia orang pun. Ya tu ayat itu. Bodoh orang pun orang. Rapan juga.
Apa mau? Saya mau ini para ini.
Oh.
The people of the neighboring atolls, more specifically Rolla and Wudu, who were frightened by the loud roar that followed after blinding light, were horribly exposed to the highly hazardous radioactive fallout. And for 3 days, the U.S. had not evacuated a single Marshallese person. The ship anchored at Rolla's Lagoon was ordered to sail away without taking any of the inhabitants after reporting back to command that the fallout had arrived at Rolla. Like snow, the fallout fell and covered the homes, canoes, and yards of the people, contaminating their blood and bones. On March 4th, 1954, the U.S. government finally evacuated the people of Rolla and Wudu. They arrived on the shores of Guadalupe Atoll shortly after. Their bodies were covered in open blisters. Their nails had turned black, hair fallen off, stomachs churning, bodies sore. Everything was on the nightmare. Little did they know, they were now enlisted as test subjects to the United States secret medical lab study called Project 4.1.
what? His name is Charles Majuro.
So Charles, are you doing any symptoms?
Di ba nangyayari?
Betul ni kiri ni, jadi orang yang tinggal ni, kalau yang kita nak hidup ni, kita tak perang, kita tak ada lagi. Telefon ni lagi kita biar marah, kita tak kena, kita tak perang saja, yang buruk.
He is experiencing pain all throughout his body. He is not really able to explain the severity of his pain. His head hurts, his body, his stomach, he's feeling nauseous, his skin is sore, his eyes, his throat, everywhere.
So this is what I'm doing. Okay, blood test. First. Patient number 37.
Di ba?
Huwag mo kumayaw.
Her name is Jo-Jikum.
Oh, this is good. How are you doing? How's the baby doing?
Hindi ka mo ulit. A little.
Okay, I'm going to this file, market is fine, so I guess that I have some process. There's it's not a that okay. Okay, I believe that was the last part is over. There's for the name.
Di ba?
Lain bola lagi ni.
His name is Bob.
Okay, Paul. So I'm just gonna do some process. It's not gonna hurt at all. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Itu.
Okay. I'm just gonna put the blood back into your system. You won't hurt at all.
This year marks 76 years since the people of Englishg had been displaced from their home atoll to make way for the U.S. to conduct their weapons of mass destruction. This year also marks 68 years since the heroin Bravo shot was tested in Englishg Atoll and had exposed the Marshallese population to dangerously high levels of radioactive contamination, or for easier reference, poison. After staying on Borderland and later Majuro for a little over 3 years, U.S. scientists had decided to return the people of Ramallah back to their highly contaminated home to further their studies on radiation within the community. As quoted in a 1957 report by the Brookhaven National Laboratory, who was contracted by the Atomic Energy Commission at the time, the habitation of these people on this island will afford most valuable ecological radiation data on human beings. The U.S. nuclear weapons testing program has resulted in many multi-generational health repercussions among the Marshallese community today. Between 1977 and and 1979, the United States sent over 4,000 military personnel and civilians to Enewetak Atoll for the decontamination process of the atoll and to build what is now known as the Runit Dome. During the same time, many Marshallese men throughout the islands were also sent out to assist in this decontamination process. The U.S. personnel were sworn to secrecy and had a gag order on them that had forbidden them from speaking about their duties on Enewetak. Many at the age of 18 and 19 had worked under the scorching sun and in highly contaminated soil with nothing but shorts and a hat on. The Marshallese that had gone out to assist also had no idea how dangerous this mission was.
For space. Attention. Salute. Ali. All right, man. As we have witnessed, there was way too much fallout than we anticipated. So now we need to gather the radioactive debris and gather them into one place so it doesn't spread.
Sir, permission to speak, sir.
Permission granted, Lieutenant.
Sir, I have passed a letter to the committee to look for volunteers, sir.
Good lad. Hopefully we get all the men we need. The local can start demolishing the building and bringing materials to Route Island so they can be discarded at the crater.
Yes, sir.
Back your line, Lieutenant. Forward space. For march. Look. 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 Look.
Kalau itu bagaimana pertemuan yang ada pengalaman?
Ada orang keren.
Wait, kita tahu.
Dulu jadi dia yang tidak tahu.
Lama ini bang bang. Bukan bilang. Ya, bagaimana kan? Atau balik cokoran beribu.
Ya, walaupun ada orang kamarnya boleh dia macam dia turun yang itu.
Ini bagaimana? Ah, lebih cara mulai.
Awak mat, ayo.
Hello, please put my name on the thing for anyone that comes.
Yes, no problem. The ship leaves 9 p.m. tonight. Please bring all your necessary belongings for 9 p.m.
Awak tanya.
Anyone? What?
Kalau orang yang benar pun negara awak cari nak dia kan? Macam bikin bola baru. Ting.
Yo voy con un cual. Pues la kalian nanti orang ini kenapa?
Awak, boleh ni awak. Ada yang baru. Yang dia waktu orang Majuro, makin dia dia aja. Tu, Majuro aja. Awak, boleh.
Beraman gue.
In 1996, the many Marshallese men involved with the decontamination process of Enewetak, Bikini, and Noah joined together to form what is now known as the Marshall Islands Radiation Victims Association. In other words, MIRVA. There was over 1,000 names listed under this association, and they had petitioned to receive some sort of compensation or acknowledgement of exposure to high radiation levels, but their cries fell on deaf ears. Today, Many of the Merva and Eneweather cleanup workers have passed, but their legacy lives on through their children and grandchildren. Many suffered from multiple cancers, tumors, etc., all too familiar to one another.
I'm coming to meet you. I'm coming to see you. What stories will I find? Will I find an island or a tomb? To get to this tomb, take a canoe. Take a canoe through miles of scattered sun. Swallow endless, swirling sea. Gulp down radioactive lagoon. Do not bring flowers or speeches. There will be no white stones to scatter along this grave. There will be no songs to sing. How shall we remember you? You were a whole island once. You were breadfruit trees, heavy with green globes of fruit, whispering promises of massive canoes. Crabs dusted with white sand scuttled through pandanus roots. Beneath blooming coconut trees, beds of watermelon slept still, swollen with peace. And you were protected by powerful eroid. Chiefs birthed from women who could swim pregnant for miles beneath a full moon. Then you became testing ground. 9 engulfed in an inferno of blazing heat. You became crater, an empty belly. Plutonium ground into a concrete slurry filled to hollow caverns. You became tomb. You became concrete shell. You became solidified history. Immovable, unforgettable. You were a whole island once. Who remembers you beyond your death? Who would have us forget that you were once green globes of fruit, pandanus roots, and whispers of canoes? Who knows the stories of the life you led through? Here is a story of a eternal goddess. She gifted one of her sons, Lela, a piece of her shell and anointed with power, a leathery green fragment, hollow as a piece of blood. It gave Lela the power to transform into anything, to houses, to trees, to shapes of other men, even kindling for the first fire, almost worthless. I'm looking for your stories. I look. There must be more to this than incinerated trees, a cracked dome, a rising sea, a leaking nuclear waste with no fence. There must be more to this than a concrete shell that houses death. And here's the story of another shell, anointed with power. Lela used it to transform into kindling from the first fire. He gave this fire to a small boy. The boy almost burned his entire village to the ground. Licks of fire leapt from skin and bones, from strands of coconut leaves, while the boy cried and laughed. This is a story of a people on fire who pretend it is not burning all of us. Here is a story of the ways we've been tricked, the lies we've been fed. It's not poisonous anymore. Your illnesses are normal. You're fine. You're fine. My belly is a crater empty of stories and answers. Only questions. Hard as concrete. Who gave them this power? Who anointed them with the power to burn?
Kalau kan bapak nanti keren ini namanya aneh kan?
Oh ini. Reven dengan Reven dengan oh ini. Reven dengan keringgian.
Orang korban put cigil, ilo yang gemel itu.
Yang banyak korban Reven
Nan kamu pun dikatakan banyak, kieran banyak,
bawa piringan ada.
Akan orang-orang dari bawah itu bagian dalam itu kadang-kadang. Akan ada orang yang waktu yang awal itu terjadi tapi orang waktu tapi dia pasti.
Kamu ditentang itu pun ya.
Apa makanya dari tentang tidak berbeda lain itu lupa lagi juga.
Oh,
Yang teman ini lupa deh, aku ini kira deh. Yang tahu ibarat, tahu itu
ini ngaji mui. Ya penting ngaji mui.
yang baru kita agak orang itu harus itu ya.
Awal.
Nilaluan, kantor, restoran boring.
Betul mu? Oh, ya. Jono tonton kowe mah.
ini berapa nomor? Main top grade itu kan?
Aduh itu tonton kowe. Yep.
Orang juga dia nih,
Orang,
di mana? Look, enak, siapa?
During the mid-70s, there was heavy political divide regarding the separation of the Marshall Islands from the Trust Territories government. This was the time of the Vote Aye and Vote Ja rallies when the Nadijala at the time, which was comprised of the Yuroj and members of the Marshall Islands Congress, decided to separate from the Trust Territories government. A political status commission was established, and the efforts were spearheaded by former President Amangakabua. Shortly after the Marshall Islands had successfully separated from the Trust Territories government, negotiations for free association commenced and would later last a decade. Unbeknownst to the RMI negotiating team, that the U.S. government had a wealth of information that remained classified during the negotiation period.
Good afternoon and welcome aboard, gentlemen. We hope you enjoy your stay in DC. Please be seated and we'll be with you shortly.
Kalau kena baik pada dia merah apa ya? Cuma dua yang lain. Kau jalan jalan tu cuma dua ni dia apa? Tahu ya sekolah lah. Kau jalan, jadi kau jalan. Kalau jalan kau tinggi ya. Kalau cuma kau begini.
Majuro. Kamu boleh orang apa tak? Kamu jadi ke waktu itu kamu cekking macam ni loh.
Kau ingat cekking macam ni jawab. Habis tu kau hari ni tak pernah apa ni. Lekila aja kau.
Kau dulu tak kau dulu. Kau beri semuanya seksi macam ni apa? The government of the United States accepts the responsibility for compensation owing to citizens of the Marshall Islands for loss or damage to property and person resulting from the nuclear testing program, which the government of the United States conducted in the northern Marshall Islands between June 30, 1946 and August 18, 1958.
Yang cuma tahu ni boleh bang.
Kau ini apa? Kira mana sekolah boleh buat apa? Kalau boleh jualan apa? Jadi ini apa ni? Jadi cukup ini kamu dulu ya. Tahu kian ada. Kalau boleh jualan.
Cukup ini kalau ni.
Wow. Silakan. Wah ramai. Orang tu yang terlebih ni ada banyak. Kalau cukup ini kamu ini ada ini kamu ada boleh.
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Dolores. On behalf of Captain Camilo and the entire crew, welcome aboard Continental Airlines Flight 86 with non-stop service from DC to Manville. At this time, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in your full upright position and that your seatbelt is correctly fastened. Now, please direct your attention to a flight attendant for the safety demonstration. Here we have two exit doors, one on the right side and one on the left side. On your seats, you should have your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelt. And to tighten your seatbelt, pull the remaining strap. Above your head, you have a gas mask and oxygen mask. In case of an emergency, it will drop down from above. Take the white strap and place it around your head. Then taking the yellow cup and putting it above your nose and mouth to receive oxygen.
Alright everybody, let's see. We got cookies, crackers, raisins, and for drinking we got orange juice, water, and coffee.
Thank you. And I have the second comment and one cola. You too.
I am sorry but we currently do not have ramen. Would crackers be okay?
Oh iya, ramai siwan dulu. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Majuro. Local time is 8:34 p.m. For safety and comfort, please remain seated with seatbelts fastened until the fasten seatbelt sign has gone off. Check around your seats for any personal belongings you may have brought aboard, and don't forget to use caution when opening overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted around during the flight. On behalf of Continental Airlines and the entire crew, thank you for joining us on our flight today, and we hope to see you again soon. Have a nice day.
Alright, ramai. Jangan dibaca je buku yang silang je dia. Punya joran dari dah, punya orang joran punya. Lokum.
चलो पावले वाले
Itulah perjuangan. Kamu ada dalam tiga tahun pendidikan PTN ini. Awana dan jauh ini menjadi orang yang cuman siang milikan wilayah. Jauh ini nomor tiga baca lagu yang mengerti wilayah. Gimana ini baca lagu? Yang mana anak ini lain lagi? Baca lagu ini juga tidak menjadi orang yang lain klaim kerana Mantumir oyun dari orang jaga, ngapantang ini yoga pantang ini macam ini kalau awalnya dari pantai roh, jadi foto pemain tahu bahwa mantranya dari yang mereka. Karena orang orang yang begini pawe, jadi foto pemain tahu bahwa kalau tidak ada orang nanti kerja, pemilih perenot kasih lagi kau deh, kalau pemain ini foto cari naik orang. You can never buy your vision plane traveler perempuan dalam perjalanan ke India. Pemotara di jalan mendadak.
Jauh, lain kita loh. Kalau itu cuma kami cari loh, jauh orang yang cari macam itu jadi aja.
Teman, kemarin ada tulisan nombor apa?
7792
7793 mana apa? 1941. Tahu kira ini bahasa apa lagi?
Nomor
Apa? Ini udah coba kira nama lu kalian. 4562 akhirnya nombor 1 dan ini ada lalu ada ini.
Wala yung kailan kortoron ko yan ang naman ko. Pagkaroon ko lang pala. Yun.
Wait, kapara siya.
Ini dikit kami jalan jalan.
Ako na lang sulit sa ako. Ayan.
Ada mau ini juga, jangan kamu jalan ada dulu kalau dengan jalan semua.
Oh, may yan bukod patutjang. Kuya orang tahu ni kami jadi jiro kan.
Jangan mau jalan orang dulu boleh nanti mana nama baca dulu, baca mana ini jalan naik orang aja dulu. Ya kan?
Ya koy mene. Wala ni ginagawa taon ni nang tulig sa kawan na niya. Apa paano ni coba may na malaman ni. O coba pun. Kalau kata mo magkaroon ng para. Ini lang ako. Dalawa lang yun. O ito na ba? 95264. Sana na ba? Dalawa na yan. Pero paulit lang dito.
Ini ada yang berbeda cara.
Pa? Naman na rin lang ako atin. Kaya ko ginakanta ka? Awal nga ako, wala ko araw kumiyak. Naman yung nagtitiran mo ako ng tuloy na ako, kumatuloy na ako. Naman yung naman ako yung mga ulit, kung mga ulit. Ngawad, wala ko araw kumiyak.
Ya boleh. Dukun jawa dulu. Kayak orang sana, ada mau dulu yang Peru. Lihat dulu maju belum menarik terus. Ye.
Andiyan pa rin na kanya na yung pera niya ang tuloy. Kaya, kumati, nalagay. Makayong ka pala ako atay, timak-iyak ang tayo dito, ako nagbuha ng dito.
Ini apa?
Jangan wala lagi ni magdala.
Baik.
Throughout the islands, Aside from the alarming numbers of cancer and thyroid cases, many women experience the trauma and heartbreak of giving birth to jellyfish babies, whose hearts beat softly beneath their transparent skin. Some had multiple miscarriages in a row. It tore families apart. The women oftentimes blamed themselves. Embarrassed and frightened, they buried their grief and animal-looking babies into the contaminated soil, never to be spoken of again.
libur ini. Jadi berarti mana? Pokoknya buat lagi. Ada yang mau buat? Ada yang minat buat? Ya banyak bener itu punya bener di gerai jauh bener tuh kayak melihat bener nama di konfirmasi.
mangiare anche in realtà